Welcome to the show, and what a complete load of shit we've got for you tonight.
I used to laugh at the idea of a woman prime minister.
John, you can ask me questions if you give me notice.
There's no time necessarily for manners.
Doesn't give my opponents much time to run.
I'm responsible for introducing the concept of Indian people excellent.
They hate us. You know, they hate the system.
I used to call the old culture the concrete playground.
Poets in this country have always been the smart ones.
I've been performing since I was born.
I can smell the uranium on it.
Whānau ki Aotearoa I tēnei pō.
You were muted.
I was muted. You called it.
I unmuted you though. I unmuted you.
That's fine. We would have heard most of it.
We're back. We're back. Kia ora koutou. Kia ora koutou, fam. Sorry about the break there. We took a
tech support.
Tech support. Well, no. We're quite timely, I think, for.
Oh,
you know.
I mean, we could have been a lot later. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, average.
Exactly.
Oh, I just realized I didn't get time to fix the aspect ratio.
Yeah, I was gonna say something, but I didn't want to.
You were gonna say something. Well, you say something, and you say hi to everyone.
Yes,
Heidi
I shall
mai,
say.
Heidi mai.
Kia ora koutou e te whānau.
Tell them what you've been up to this week and why we missed a show last week. For those that don't know.
Yes. So last week, obviously, we weren't here because I chucked a message in the Discord and asked people whether they thought that I should go to the Tough on Crime event, which was last Monday at 6 p.m, so the exact time the show was on, which I was so, like, when I saw that, I was like, damn it, why does it have to be exactly at the wrong time and day? But the majority voted for going so that we can kind of hear about what was discussed and kind of what the Kaupapa was about. And it also timed really well because there we also had the Greens on Tour, which was the rescheduled event that was supposed to be on in Wellington the day that Takutai passed away. So we finally got to have our turn for the Greens on Tour budget kind of kōrero, and that was awesome as well. So I decided to make a little notebook to take with me for notes. So I got my little chewy fufu
book.
And this is also Selena Simon, who's a local drag queen, and handmade Palestine sticker. This is Mai Te Awa Ki Te Moana, which I love. I also just love the fact that people make stickers here in Wellington, just handmade stickers. Just handing them out at protests. Such a good idea, though. And actually, one of them, I think that I was given, one of the stickers that I was given, I put it on one of the bus stops on Courtney Place, and it's still there.
Oh, how long has that been there?
Well, it was around when I put the BHN sticker there at the same time. So it would have been like maybe January kind of vibe, February maybe, even the latest. It's been there for quite some time. Like, I put a Nikki No Boat sticker on one out in Kilburnie, and that one almost instantly got taken down. But the one that I put on Courtney Place, that's been just chilling there this whole time. And I'm just, every time I go there, I'm like, okay, is it still there? Yeah, we're good. But yeah,
all right.
That's kind of what I got up to.
And we're gonna go more in depth.
Yeah. So I'm probably going to chuck up my Google Doc on screen in a bit, just so that people can kind of I find that having the text there while someone's reading is just easier personally. Although I haven't been able to change my Google Docs into dark mode, so hopefully that's not too much of a problem. But yeah, actually maybe I should try to quickly just see if I can, because I'll be honest, it hurts my eyeballs to look at such a bright screen, but also for some reason I don't know how to change it. Oh well, you know what? Fuck it, we will. Y'all can deal with a white screen. But I'll get you to flick over to my screen just because I've got a couple of pictures just from Tam's Instagram page. So actually, I got this awesome I Heart Welly Central sticker here, which I'm obsessed with because it's just so fucking cool. But to be fair, I've noticed all of Tam's stickers and all those kinds of things have been even the poster for Tough on Crime was
Who's
sick
designing
as fuck.
those? Do we know?
I actually don't know who they've gone to get them designed. Because most of it just says like that it's authorized by, it doesn't actually say who the artists are. But to be honest, probably you should find out because this is some sick art.
This looks like an advertisement for what was the company that delivers meals to you?
Oh, Compass.
Yeah, whatever.
Or Meals on Wheels.
No, like those ones that send you like the ingredients and you like.
Oh, like HelloFresh and
HelloFresh,
shit.
That's the stuff. Yeah. That looks like an ad.
It
for
actually
that.
does. Yeah, it really does actually. And this was actually a picture of. So it was actually in a church, which I was scared I might spontaneously combust when I walked in, but I was fine. Okay. But this was a Monday night, and look how many people turned up. Like that's honestly impressive.
And they've only got half the lights on too for some reason.
Yeah, no, it was an interesting lighting. Although, to be honest, I think I was just having a giggle at the fact they've got halo lighting.
Yep.
Yeah. But that they also kind of look like the big versions of like those ring lights you can get for like that like influencers use. So it was just I just couldn't help but giggle at although, man, it was a very beautiful church. Like the stained glass was fucking on point. But yeah, this is where it was held. This is just and this was at the Greens on Tour. So this is because Tam just posted up a bunch of pictures from.
So that wasn't at the same event.
No. So the first event, Tough on Crime, and then this one is Greens on Tour because we had our 3 electorate MPs who were there. I also really love the Palestine shirt that Chloe has because it's like weirdly like a sports shirt.
I was gonna say it looks like a soccer jersey or something.
Honestly, it probably could be. I don't know enough about sports.
I mean,
and then this is
go
just
Team Palestine, I guess.
Other fun pictures that Tam posted because she's awesome.
Hell yeah!
But I'll move over to this tab now. Sorry for the stark white. Yeah, I know it's so bright. I really need to. I haven't gone through and changed all the settings for our Aotearoa Tonight stuff, but I really fucking need to.
You're not supposed to show people how amateur-y everything is. We're supposed to look professional. Google Docs.
Lol. Yeah, as professional as being muted when we come in. Totally.
I know. Yeah. It's because, people aren't aware of this. My entire computer crashed less than 10 minutes before we went live. It was like, ugh.
To be fair,
Mage hopped in.
Yeah, I know, right?
The
I
god
was like,
of chaos.
sitting there waiting in the thing like, you said you're in the lobby and I'm here by myself. I don't know what's happening. Also, kia ora to Chairman Now and Kiwi Skirt. Kia ora,
People starting to
kia ora.
roll in now. Hey, guys.
Yeah. But yeah, so Geordie Rogers, who was actually I probably should find his picture again so you can know who I'm talking about because I'll probably talk about him a bit coming up.
Okay.
So this guy here in the middle, he is a counsellor here in Wellington, and he was the MC for the night on their Tough on Crime, which I'll be honest, he did a really good job because apparently they only had it from 6 till 7 because at 7 p.m. they have a local choir that use the space to practice, and so he had to get up on the mic and he's like, all right guys, so like we've got to get started right now and I'm just gonna let you know like we've got a choir that's waiting on us, so like we got to be out of here and on time. And he was like
absolute time limit.
Oh, yeah, and we had one lady who, you'll see, I've gotten her notes, but, like, she had so much to talk about in such a short amount of time that, like, when she came up to the podium, she was like, all right, so, like, this is what I'm going to be talking about. These are the kind of key focuses that I'm going to have, and I'm going to argue this. Like, basically did a whole debate speech in like record fucking time.
That's like every show we do. It's just like, man, we got so much to talk about, but it's just not enough time.
Or anytime you see Chloe on one of the segments on the news where she's fucking rap godding it, trying to fucking.
Oh, there was one I didn't pull from last week, but dropped your mic.
No, shut up. Fuck you.
I mean, no, we haven't made any technical mistakes today. It's all going so smoothly. Yeah, but there was literally one classic Ryan Bridge interview last week, I think. One of the good old Chloe Schwarbrick versus David Seymour ones, where she's literally sitting there just stone-faced the entire time, and it's like halfway through until she gets to actually say something, and then it's just non-stop David Seymour trying to butt in. Actually, I can't. No, blah, blah, and she's like, shut the fuck up, mate. Like, just let me speak. I shut up the entire time you were spelling your shit. We can't hear you anymore. By the way, you've broken everything.
Yep. No, I broke myself, I think.
Oh, now there's a delay between you and the video.
Is it?
Oh, not anymore. It was for like a second. It was there.
Okay.
I saw
Alright.
it. I saw it.
It was the Atlas network.
Yeah, all my brain went to slow mode. It's one of the two.
Nah, to be fair, I did drop something and do something, so quite likely.
Let's rename this podcast Comedy of Errors. How about that?
I mean, we can rename it whenever and whatever we want, so you know what? Like, we could do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Geordie opened up, and it was really interesting. One of the main things that he kind of remarked on is how he feels like Wellington is kind of the progressive hub of the country, and how a lot of that is, at least to him, is because we have a lot of empathy, and we're a very caring city, which I guess that might be kind of shady to other cities, but you know what? I kind of agree, because it's a lot of what actually drew me to Wellington was not just the empathy, but the positive community that exists here. And not only just the positive community, but the number of communities that all just exist in one space, for most part with relative harmony. I mean, the only thing that's really creating disharmony in Wellington is this fucking government. So
yeah, even the few like upper class folk I ran into weren't too bad. I remember that. I was like, you know.
Oh yeah, like a lot of my friends that I've made over the years are like, you know, public servants working in government, like. And I think that's actually almost what makes them more empathetic, because like when you see what happens on the inside, when you are one of those governmental workers, you kind of like, especially from the things that I've heard from some of my friends, is that they're fighting just as hard, but also they're locked into certain kind of, I guess, ways of doing things due to their jobs, that they too are essentially trying to fight the system as well, but unfortunately they're also inside of it and require that to live in terms of making money. So yeah, it's definitely, there's such a, like, you'll always see, like, even in the Tough on Crime event, like when you looked at the people that were there was such a range of people. It wasn't like all young people, or like it wasn't all one demographic.
Yeah, no, it's very close to Dunedin. I think even in population, it's not too far off. I don't know, what's Wellington, like 500,000 Wellington?
Not sure, but I'll check the numbers.
Yeah, like I think Dunedin's a bit over 300, I think. But sort of similar in sprawl too, but I think the difference probably there between that and Wellington is you've got that very thriving central city sort of hub. When I think of Wellington, I sort of think of two sort of communal sort of areas. I think of the what is it, up near Te Papa and stuff, whatever that, like the main city on what's that street called?
The
big long one. Yeah, I think
place?
Is it? No, it's the big long one.
Yeah, it's probably Lambton Quay. That's
I think
the main
it is
business
Lambton
one.
Quay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So you got the Golden Mile, which basically goes
It's
Lambton Quay.
Toilets.
Oh no, that's Courtney Place.
Courtney Place. There you go.
Technically, that one's not on Courtney Place, but it's on the corner of Courtney Place and
Okay.
Taranaki Street.
Yeah, I think of that, and then I think of also the opposite end where the beach is down. whatever
Yeah,
that's called.
kind of by I think it's Freiburg,
Yeah, I've forgotten all the names.
which
of
is a
the areas.
man-made beach.
Yeah,
So
It's been 10 years since I've lived there. Forgive me.
yeah, but that is the Golden Mile essentially, and that is what most people kind of like attribute to Wellington. And like, although I'm looking at population, and I think you're a little bit off there, my friend.
Am I off? Not 500,000.
No, we do have 541,000.
What's
but
Dunedin?
Dunedin's only 131,000.
I thought it was like twice. Maybe it's when the students come in, it's double.
Yeah, I don't know, but
I'll have to check.
this is as of June 2024 from
because I
Stats
believe
NZ,
it does like double when the students come in, the population.
She wonder if I type in with students if it changes anything.
Yeah, sure.
Nah, then it only goes up to 100. Yeah, no. It only goes like to 130 there. So
okay.
about 25,000 is students. But
Not
I imagine
it's not 100,000 students. Is that what you're telling me?
No. But I mean, to be fair,
that'd be a lot of students.
proportionally, it probably feels like it. I could
It probably
definitely
does,
see
yeah.
that. Like, well, especially I've only
Man,
been
it's a
to
small
Dunedin
town.
once, but that's the thing is Dunedin is so small, especially
Yeah.
in the actual city centre. Like,
Yeah.
it reminds me more of Rotorua, I guess, in terms of size of like more that kind of thing.
Is Porirua its own? That's its own town, right? Now, still technically. It's apart from Wellington in terms of like governance.
Yeah. Like Porirua have their own
Yeah.
council.
Okay. So that and like yeah, cool.
And Porirua only have 59,000.
Ooh.
So and Rotorua is 78,000 apparently, which means Dunedin's a little bit bigger, but I'd say
Yeah.
Rotorua might be a bit closer in terms of like, we've got kind of a similar thing where our city centre, yes, it is kind of centralised, but there is a bit of, things that kind of start to sprawl out. And
God, I
terms of
don't know
that.
much about numbers. Clearly, my population figures, they're very
Yeah, you gotta get
warped.
back into it. No, that's
Yeah.
fair. I think, yeah.
I'm ashamed.
I mean, also you living in Auckland, which is probably woefully like skewed your judgment.
Probably, yeah.
But,
Well, because thinking back home, even now it still feels bigger than 150,000 or whatever, less than that.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, Geordie basically was kind of talking about how they kind of want to take that empathy and see if they can kind of, I guess, get others kind of. And obviously Tamitha, she was the initial speaker. And man, I love hearing her speak every time. She's just so passionate about what she does. And so I've got a few notes here. Some of the quotes that I just found really impactful was the powerful get to define what crime is, which is something that I think for me is always apparent whenever I think about that Brennan Lee Mulligan quote that I like to put on the pod every now and then.
That's the reason we have the war on drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that didn't start till, like, it was debatable sort of
Well,
around where
Reagan.
it started, but probably, no, earlier than that, it's Nixon. So,
Oh,
late
yeah,
60s,
true. Now you're
early
right.
70s.
Yeah. Fucking
yeah.
Nixon.
Everyone's favorite.
Yeah. And another one that I thought was quite interesting is that she was kind of talking about how through the media we're told to be afraid of the stranger in an alley rather than the real violence that we know of. And I put in parentheses intimate partner violence because that is one of the things that she was kind of talking about in this, is that like as a country we know we have a really bad problem with domestic, well, it originally is called domestic violence, but the term that tends to be used now is intimate partner violence because there can be a bit of difference. Like domestic could also include children, blah 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 blah. But regardless, it's the fact that we all sit here and we know that we've got like this bad problem, and yet the media is able to essentially fearmonger that we should be more afraid of what could happen rather than what does happen.
So, wait, if you, oh, sorry, I'm hearing an echo. I'm trying to ignore myself. If you are a child and you get like abused, it's considered domestic abuse, and that's not,
well, it can depend.
and that's like separate from like if the partner calls it, but isn't that just the same thing but with a different victim?
Well, that's where they kind of like to try to, because like intimate partner violence is very direct in who is being harmed and how the harm, like what kind of harm is happening, rather than like domestic can be a little too broad and cover a little too much of, the domestic household, whereas intimate partner violence too, because also part of the other issue, the other part of the issue is that not all intimate partner violence is between two people who live together. This can happen between any people who are, you know, partners that have those abusive, I guess, properties within their relationship. So it's kind of the term that I try to lean towards using, because it is definitely a big issue. But then she also kind of
never considered that.
No, absolutely. And I mean, I only heard this term last year.
Okay.
Because one of my friends who was doing a laws degree had to do like had to do a bunch of stuff around this. There was also like stuff happening that we kind of had to help intervene on one of these kind of cases as well. So
and they're just telling you all about their law degree. Hey, guess what I learned today?
Oh yeah, no, it was very interesting to learn some of the things, but it also makes sense though that because like it underpins this thing of like, again, that fear mongering that's being done to try and win over votes rather than actually addressing any fucking real issues. And then obviously, because one of the main things that you'll kind of notice as we go through this is that when everyone was talking about crime, very little of the discussion was technically on committing the act of crime. A lot of it was more focused around the fact of like, we need to address what causes crime rather than treat crime as if it's just this thing that exists, rather than crime being a symptom of much more than that.
Weird.
Oh yeah, I know, right? But I was so grateful when I realized that was the kind of angle that was being taken.
Yeah, you know, it makes a lot of sense. You think about that, and like not just crime. We're thinking about that in terms of like health and stuff these days too. Like preventative measures for health, stopping people smoking, stopping, you know, before they get the lung cancer, rather than finding a miracle cure for lung cancer. Those kinds of things. But I like, this is the kind of mentality where I think a lot of people are still struggling to transition to, especially when it comes to things like prisoner voting, stuff like that, which has been a recent hot topic, and people saying these people have given up their rights and blah blah blah. And I'm also like, yeah, and it's like, well, that's not even the case. They haven't given up. But I can't think what is a right that someone gives up in jail, like, or shouldn't, you know, theoretically shouldn't be given up when they're in jail, but despite,
well, I mean,
perhaps modern.
You do lose your autonomy when you're in prison, and that is a huge part of like human.
Some of it, and it's very. I don't know. But
yeah.
If you talk about
some is still technically something though.
You still have a right to like go outdoors and exercise and move around. Like you
don't have the right to do that whenever you want though.
Yeah, it's true.
That is where the autonomy thing for me is the main clincher.
But even citizens can be subjected to those kinds of things. We had COVID lockdown, martial law can be a thing. There's times when just normal citizens that can happen to as well. And not to mention, you can't just go anywhere you want. Like that's another thing to consider as a person who's free and you have rights and you can move around freely. Yeah. There's certain areas you can't go, and it's illegal for you to go, and you will get arrested. So it's just, I think the same rights is just condensed down. Like, you know, you don't have the right to choose your own meal, but you still have the right to get fed. For example.
I mean, to be honest, that's mostly because like for my entire existence, probably my mom's entire existence, and honestly, probably even my grandmother's entire existence, we have all been taught to view, like, I don't even like the word criminal sometimes because it feels like it's such a heavy word to put on and the thing is like, you can put that word on a person who just stole some food because they were starving and hungry, or you can put that label on someone who literally murders a child. Yep. Like, it just feels like, first of all, like, from that standpoint, it's already, like, a bit too far. But then, yeah, there's, like, a dehumanizing that has happened probably since the beginning of prisons existing, because a lot of that stuff was also, you know, inspired by slavery, and like all these systems have just kind of essentially been slavery with a different name. And then the dehumanizing that goes on, and like people, they view people in prison as subhuman. So they don't think they deserve the right to vote. They don't think they deserve... Honestly, some people, like the amount of fucking bullshit that happens when Christmas comes around and people try to say, oh, look, the prisoners are getting like a cooked hot Christmas lunch. As if that's not something that, like, even though it's not accurate and they're just twisting the fact that they'll serve a Sunday roast meal on a Christmas day for the week. But like, there's all these... Yeah, there's always these things that people do to kind of dehumanize and demonize and villainize anyone who's going through that system.
And it also rests on a lot of assumptions, like, A, they're guilty, like they actually are guilty and they're not an innocent person who's been wrongly imprisoned, for example, which is, you know, is a reasonably large percentage a lot of the time. Also, it assumes every law is correct. You know, these people deserve to have their rights taken away because the law is correct. Like, we know that's not the case. It used to be illegal to be gay.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, like, we literally have still had people only just recently. I think there's also still some people who have certain things on their records that haven't been scrubbed off because that law no longer exists. Like, laws are made by the dominating socioeconomic group, and like I
remember watching a documentary of like some Scandinavian prisons that were just open. They're just like they're low security for like not violent or like chronic offenders, like people who are just in rehabilitation. They were basically like flats.
Well, yeah, because they're actually in rehabilitation.
Yeah, and
that word you said doesn't exist in our ones.
Yeah, and I think the only sort of trick was that they were like basically in the middle of nowhere, so running away would be very inconvenient. So it's much more convenient just to stay in this nice house where you're getting fed, you have freedom of movement, you can do whatever you want. That, you know, they had knives, forks, all that shit. It was did their own dishes, did their own cooking, that kind of stuff. They lived a life. Exactly.
I also love this some of the comments here. We've got apparently prisoners in New Zealand get the same food as the prison guards. And under Jacinda, the food was pretty good. I bet you that's fucking changed.
Now the kids are getting that food.
No, actually, I think I remember seeing an article that still said the prison food was better, actually. No, now I'm remembering. They might actually be worse. Yeah, no, I'd have to double check that. But yeah, there's been so many school food related articles in my head. I swear to God, I need to fucking make space for the rest. But yeah, I mean, it's very much kind of like how MLB is like tongue-in-cheek saying human rights only apply to good humans. And that's where the problem is that's the kind of mentality that a lot of people still have. And I think a lot of people don't even actually sit down and kind of go, what is good? Who defines good? Like, a lot of people just take it at like they've been taught this is good and this is bad, and they just don't try to think about anything else. Like, when I was a kid, I was taught very, very, very much so weed was bad. I was so anti-cannabis. Like, I stopped being friends with my childhood.
It's a gateway drug.
Literally, because like obviously there was, you know, in my case it was because my dad was one of those dropkick stoners who didn't actually, like, who was kind of bad with it. Therefore, I heard all those stories growing up. Didn't like my dad. Didn't like what I heard from my mum about that stuff. And basically the two became one. And when my best friend, who I'd been friends with since I was 5 years old, when she started smoking cannabis in high school, I stopped talking to her. Only to end up smoking. Yeah, I think I ended up smoking weed like maybe a year after, maybe two at the most. And I was like, wait a minute.
You better have apologized.
Oh no, I did. I did. I apologized. I mean, I
was like,
okay.
10 years later, but a year later.
Yeah, but in my defense, she ended up going and being a meth head. So like it kind of was a
It was a
gateway drug for
gateway
her.
drug.
So like, yeah, it was
I mean,
yeah.
it also is a gateway drug in a lot of senses, just not to necessarily the bad ones.
No.
You'll be after you take that first puff, you might be like, let's try some mushrooms next, see what that's like.
Exactly, and that's
which are about to
the thing
become legal, by the way.
Oh, yes.
Thanks, David Seymour. We love you, David Seymour.
Oh,
Acting David
get
Seymour.
the fuck out of here! Get the fuck out of here! How dare you say that? You know, there's gonna exist on the internet now, and people are gonna be able to put your face to those words.
Oh no, I'll get memed, and then people will know who I am. Horrible. Not
All right.
publicity. Please don't do that.
Oh my god, are you not doing the all publicity is good publicity? Really?
No,
is that
just
the,
most
Is
of
that the
it.
dynamic we're gonna run? You're gonna
I could think of a couple of words that would be bad publicity, but
Are
I'm
you
not
gonna be
say
a
them.
Damian Grant? Am I Bomber?
Oh no.
Yeah, see, he regrets everything he just said now.
It's me, Damian Grant.
Oh no. But yeah, so we should probably get back on track.
Yeah, let's do this. It's national. Get back on track.
Right.
Where
But
were we?
Aotearoa, I don't remember what organization she was from, unfortunately, but she was the one that was rap godding it. And I found it really, really interesting because her two key points were how we respond to stalking, because she kind of was talking a bit about the stalking amendment bill. Oh, sorry, the anti-stalking bill.
Two key points. Sorry, I misheard that. I thought you said two key points, and I was like, "Is that a word? I don't know." Tukey.
Tukey.
I thought it might be Tereo for something.
Nah,
what
nah.
are two key points?
Yeah, to care. And then she was talking about, will imprisonment address the underlying causes of stalking? Before you read further down, what's your guess?
How do we respond to stalking?
Or will imprisonment address the underlying causes of stalking?
Oh,
What's your bet? Put your money.
My crystal ball. No.
Well, I mean, she argued that no, because obviously, she was talking about how imprisonment risks reinforcing behavior rather than disincentivizing the behavior, noting that, you know, we are very aware prisons reinforce cycles of violence and that there's a 30% reoffense rate within 12 months and a 50% reoffense rate at 24 months.
And I'm sure it just keeps going up from there.
Well, yeah, I mean, they stop at 24 months.
Yeah.
Anything after that, there's like, oh.
Within 1 year, half of people are back in prison. That's
yeah,
not
well,
great.
almost, yeah, exactly. And well, the thing is, there's reoffense. It
Sorry,
doesn't say they
it's,
go
2
back
years,
to prison
not-
either. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, my math is horrible.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Don't worry,
yeah,
they
no,
just
I did.
cancelled NCEA, so
Yeah, I shouldn't have done 12 and 24. That was a bit too much for
Yeah.
a Monday night. But then she obviously went in and started talking about how like the effects of colonization have been like an effect that people don't really consider in a lot of these things, because obviously she talked about how like the disruption of cultural well-being has weakened the support systems that come from collectivist culture, which like in of itself there's already generations of people who have been kind of cut off and disconnected from those, like not only just those spaces but that way of being. And that this has obviously in turn led men to not having a space for their emotions to be processed or to even kind of live in a community that shows them how being a man isn't the only thing that defines you. That being a man is just, you know, being yourself and enjoying what you like and, I don't know, having testosterone too, I guess, most of the time. Like,
What about man up?
oh, man up his ass. Fucking hell. Like, fucking. There's nothing I hate more. Well, that's why I really enjoyed the fact that Maria Mino's son has started Soften Up Bro, because I do think it has to be that.
I haven't heard of that.
You didn't fucking watch BHN when I did this one, obviously. Basically, Maria Mino's son has created a like initiative called Soften Up Bro, and it's for Māori men, but I think they want to obviously take this model a bit further and essentially basically teach.
I
No,
did
you
hear
remember?
about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I do remember.
Yeah. It's really awesome initiative. So like I do think we need those types of things because like, you know, a lot of I don't think I put it in my notes exactly, but one of the key things that I noticed is that they had a lot of discussion around how mental health or even just mental illness or neurodiversity is a huge part of a lot of this too, because I believe there is so I think Tam was saying there's about an 80% rate in prisons of people with traumatic brain injury, which obviously traumatic brain injuries can literally change the way your brain is able to
they
literally
get it
do
in
anything.
prison, or it's just
No, like before they're in prison.
okay.
So it's that people who are in prison have these traumatic brain injuries. I can't remember, I don't have the stats on hand. I should have grabbed them, but I know that there's a really high rate of undiagnosed ADHD or even diagnosed ADHD people in prisons. Same with autism as well. I know for a fact there's a lot more data that shows the ADHD route is one of the more represented sides, because unfortunately you can kind of see ADHD's symptoms do unfortunately lend themselves to potentially being impulsive and silly.
Yeah, and so can just a lot of different brain injuries as well. That's something I am intimately familiar with from my dad's work. Having housed people specifically with particularly with brain injuries, not necessarily all of them, but that was more or less his focus, is people who've gotten brain injuries from different ways, whatever. But that comes housing those people together comes with its advantages and disadvantages. Disadvantages sometimes being they can be confrontational, and sometimes just for God knows why, it can just be some arbitrary thing that someone has a problem with, and because it's not like they're bad people, they just respond differently to different stimuli in different ways, as opposed to people without those specific cognitive issues necessarily do. So
I mean, the same can be said for things like autism and ADHD as well, and that there's a lot of aspects of those things that and I mean, Kiwi Bibbs also pointed out the fact that traumatic brain injuries can actually change your whole personality.
Yes.
They can change your entire life. I mean, like, that's the thing, is like, it's also the intricate and complicated ways that each person's brain injury can be, different, because obviously different parts of the brain, like depending on what parts have been harmed, like you can end up with a plethora of different, I guess, symptoms and issues, and it's definitely, but like that's one thing that was really kind of, I guess, seemed to just sing out to me and was very clear that. And I mean, since while we're talking on this, there was one note that I made at the end of it. Where did I put it? Because I as I was kind of listening to everything, or have I not actually made the note? I have not. That's fine. I know where it is. It's on my Discord. But basically, I kind of, to me, it seems like we know we've got this bad issue with domestic violence, intimate partner violence. We also know we have this issue with having terrible alcoholism and just a terrible alcohol culture in general.
That actually ties in with the history of mental health, particularly down in Otago as well. A lot of ties there to alcohol and illegal brewing.
Well, yeah, and so like my brain was kind of going, okay, so we've identified all these things. We've also heavily identified that there is a major like undiagnosed list of people, and the more and more I was listening to it, the more and more my brain just went, it feels like we're a country of people who are trying to self-medicate. And like, that's it is kind of a bold statement to say that we're as a country, but I don't know, I'm kind of starting to fall into the fence of, I think there was probably, maybe when the first boats started coming over, maybe they had a high rate of neurodiversity on those boats, and, proliferation. We know how proliferation works, you get a few of those and then they just go mad. So, like, I don't know. I'm personally leaning towards the fact that, like, maybe a good portion of our country has a bunch of either neurodiversity, mental illness, mix of all of it.
Yeah, no, look, that's well, it's an interesting theory. I mean, possible.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying anything wholly, but it just feels
No.
like there's a theme. And
well,
the
there's a
theme
lot you could
seems to...
speculate there, like even just because imagine this isn't modern day. This is 150, 200 years ago. Imagine making that trip all the way from fucking England. How long? That's we're talking about probably half a year on a boat or some shit. I don't actually know how long it would have taken, but it probably would have taken about that long back in the sailing days. And that's probably months of consumption and just getting drunk. Imagine what COVID was like, but it's non-stop and you're on a boat and you're getting seasick and you can't go out to the shop still. It's going to be like that, and you're stuck with the same bunch of dudes or whoever non-stop.
Well, they're just watching everyone around you die because
and watching
not all
die.
of them. Yeah.
Yep. Like, yeah. So
when
take
I know for
COVID
yeah.
and just times it by a shit ton, and you're gonna get a lot of mental illness just on the way from A to B.
And that's also not including what happened before they got on the boat too, because a lot of people who got on a boat
and all of these people were being like, hey, I'm going to go to this new place, it's going to be great. They get off probably in the middle of nowhere and they're like, where the fuck am I? I want to talk to my mum. Oh, she's back in England. Fuck. I got no one to talk to, Well,
the thing is, like, and part of my, I guess, my light theory is actually backed in that, because so I know who my ancestors were that came to New Zealand first, and we have a family historian who has documented our entire family tree since our family came to this country. And when I talked to him about it, I was like, hey, like, I've got a lot of mental illness stuff going on. Like, do you know much about our family and our history? And our history, our family, they have recorded suicides dating back to the beginning of this country. So my family have been committing suicide since they landed here. And so I guess that's where I go into the camp of, okay, so it seems like our entire family line has had a decent portion of people, not all of them, of course, but a decent portion of people who have clearly been struggling and not able to handle life. And obviously I can only speculate because I can't go back to those times, but it seems like there's just that common thread of struggling with neurodiversity and not knowing it, because I know a lot of, like, my great-grandfather, there's articles about all of his theft, because he liked to steal, and he was into fast motorbikes. A lot of that sense, like, adrenaline seeking, dopamine seeking behaviors, they literally date back to when my family got here. And that's the one thing that definitely adds to my theorizing, really.
Well, and they also lacked a lot of the facilities to actually... they weren't great at all at the time anyway, but even then, when they got here, there weren't a lot of the facilities to assist those people at all. Like, in Dunedin, what they did was they shoved everyone who was mentally ill just by the military base. Just there was little camps there, and they just shoved them. Yeah, which is where Otago Boys is now. So, by the way, FYI.
That's actually kind of funny,
yeah.
but also fast.
That was before they just built Seacliff, which is what was.
Oh yeah, right.
We'll go with that another day, though.
Yeah, we definitely got to do a Seacliff episode, because I'm so in for that. We should probably keep going anyway. Yeah. But so there is kind of a big thing. Obviously she talked about how we treat victims is a big part of the problem. She said she's seen, like, that the police will often say things like, what did you do to make him do that? Which, like, it's a horrific way to word something when someone's trying to come to you as a victim. And, like, I mean, I'll be honest, I'm sure people probably say things like this without thinking about it, because, again, it's one of those things that's just common. People are used to, repeating the garbage that they hear other people say. But, like, the way that you know, obviously victims are treated, which when you get talked to like this makes it even worse.
Yeah,
And then
it's like the equivalent of saying, well, you shouldn't have been dressed like that.
yeah,
you know?
yeah, exactly. You know, what did you do to make him angry? Like,
Yep.
fuck off. But then it's obviously further compounded by the fact that Maori are less likely to trust the police, and also we have, you know, high rates of. Yeah, I wonder why. And
Yeah,
so
instead, let's just mouth off to our boyfriend who's in the mob, and he can just go around and beat him up or something.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, give
But
the
then
fucking diary to not Uncle Bully, to Jake the Muss.
Yeah.
See him
Oh.
beat up Uncle Bully.
Right. But then she also kind of pointed out the fact that like Maori voices were left out of building the system, and like that is inherently a part of the process.
Mhm.
Like I believe. Oh no, I thought I wrote that down. Maybe I didn't. No, it's in here. I think that's why. Too many notes.
Too many notes. Simply too many notes.
Oh yeah, right.
That's all my Amadeus fans out there. I hope you get that reference. Too many notes.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of the second day's notes. That's why I'm getting myself confused. But I mean, I think that kind of that point of like we aren't in a system that was designed for our population. Maybe we should like redesign the system. But she also pointed out how we really should be kind of, because again, a lot of this is about what are the actual causes.
Mhm.
And some of the actual causes of these things are that we don't have good enough education when it comes to teaching people about healthy relationships and different things that can, you know, come up between intimate, you know, two people who are close to each other. Like, if we actually want to be dealing with these things, starting by educating people from like, you know, primary school and up might I don't know, set them on a better course, something crazy like that.
Crazy ideas.
Right?
These are radical
I know, right?
takes.
And obviously, you know, went on about how prisons can be a band-aid, especially when it comes to like stalking or domestic harm. Like they can be a band-aid.
Even just like there's some really simple solutions, even just a couple of these issues alone, not even just a giant restructure. Just when someone comes in with an alleged sexual assault or battery charge, just have some kind of mental health or counselor type person there who takes that report instead of the police officer, you know?
Ooh, that sounds like defunding the police.
I mean, I'm just saying that's ugh.
You fucking lefties and wanting to defund our police system.
No, fuck it, it's not a misnomer. Defund them. Fuck them. They don't need that
to
money.
be fair, I just want to burn the whole thing down and create it from anew.
Yep. Yeah,
Like,
we
the
can
whole thing
defund them
sucks.
and then say we're giving the police more money than ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can do that.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's frustrating. I mean, her final remark was quite, I think, quite important though, and that it's not about how we deal with crime necessarily, but how we care about those who have been harmed. Because that was one thing that she did point out, is that like in the penal system, it's often just harms victims again, because, you know, they have to go through all these fucking either potentially go through testimonies and all these different things. And often, because obviously think about it, you know, the defense lawyer, they're there to try and defend someone whether they know they've done it or not. Imagine getting grilled by a defense lawyer when you're trying to have to prove you're like that something horrible happened to you. That is such a difficult thing for someone to have to go through and do. And like that is part of how the system needs to be changed as well, is it needs to be changed so that we're able to, you know, actually punish people. Well, again, I don't even know if I like the word punish. We're able to kind of have them go through whatever they need, take a bit of naughty time out because you were a bit of a dick as well, but also look after the people who've been harmed and actually make sure that in that process they're not just being re-harmed like again and again, because it's another thing that can disincentivize people from saying anything and speaking out at all, which, yeah, we know that that's in of itself is like a whole big problem.
Not to mention, well, because also multiple retellings that can sometimes be manipulated, because sometimes the story can vary slightly from recount to recount, and as time goes on, and the police can sometimes turn on the victim and just say, hey, well, you said this, and then you said this, and blah, 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 blah.
Do you want to know fun fact about how that works? So psychologically, there's a very, very strong reason that happens. So when it comes to the ability to recall and memory, essentially, when it gets first encoded, you will remember it the most kind of accurately that you will remember it. Every time you think about it there on in, you tend to start to recall memories of the memory. So that first time you remembered it, it's fresh. That next time, you're kind of remembering more the first time you remembered it, not the actual event. And then the further and further you get away from that, that's where often that stuff happens.
And it can be like sometimes you get to the point where it's like telling a story. You start memorizing the beats, and you start adding sort of flourishes in between and stuff to sort of make it more coherent or flow better, perhaps, like or maybe it's the opposite, and you're getting more clammy every time and saying less because you just get uncomfortable with telling the same story multiple times. And so I was in a study. I was a science baby. My mum subjected me to scientific experiments.
Science baby?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So I was in a Otago study called the Origins of Memory, I think it was called. Yeah. Since I was like, I don't know how young, 3, something like that, where it was all about studying like memories and how they develop in children. And it got to a point where like I knew about this memory that I'd said was my earliest memory, and I had recalled that that I had said it to the people who interviewed me, but I stopped saying that when I came in later down the road when I was like in my teens or something, and they're like, so what's your earliest memory? And I would say what I think my earliest memory is, and they're like, yeah, see, so do you remember saying this thing about your sister going to kindergarten? I was like, yeah, but I thought about that over the years, and now I'm not convinced, because I think, like, I was like, maybe that didn't make sense, and I was like, was she that tall? Was she tall enough to get? And I started overthinking, and I started changing my mind, and then because I remembered this memory so many times, I think things had started changing my mind as my sister grew. I imagined her being taller and that kind of thing, and all this weird shit was going on. Just where I still was aware of what my first memory possibly was. I just chose to be, I think that's made up. I think it was a dream or something like that,
yeah
no,
so that makes sense.
Definitely funny things with memory.
Oh fuck yeah. Also love that you were actually in a study about memory. That's wild. There was also so they had Luke Sommerfield. I believe he is from Victoria University. He's a lecturer, and most of his stuff was about penal populism, and I'll be honest, I didn't get as many notes with his one because he was talking really fast and using words that were way harder to write down as fast.
I see.
But it was also kind of a bit more, he kind of, I guess, if you could imagine that this conversation was almost like, I guess, debates. It was almost like he had come up and he was like, I'm not debating the negative, but I'm also not debating the positive. I'm debating a bit of a middle ground. But one thing that kind of really came away from it that I thought was interesting is that he pointed out that he feels that the current system is not tough on crime, but lazy on crime. Because all you're doing is rounding people up and putting them into prisons and boot camps. It's passive. There's no active effort and rehabilitation. And also he added that boot camps only increase the number of victims. Which I thought was...
increase the number of victims.
Yeah, because if you think about the abuse in state care, we know for a fact that boot camps tend to traumatize and harm people.
True.
So by having them around, you're not being tough on crime, you're just creating more victims.
Yeah.
And appearing to do something, which I mean that like the same way
It's
it made you
angle.
double guess is kind of, I think, why I think it seems really important, because like that is a really good angle, I guess, to kind of think about it from.
No, definitely. Well, that and if you kind of think about that's how we look at a lot of the worst prisons is like these people are not just getting like justice served or in rehabilitation, they're being tortured. It's hard. They're victims. Guantanamo Bay, shit like that. Like,
Oh man, yeah. I mean, fucking. Cause did you hear that they want to do some shit with those prisons? Yeah, that's a whole other side story. But they want to actually get their shit going again. And then so there was two other. No, or maybe it was.
Yeah, Guantanamo is still open.
No, I'm actually thinking of one of the other ones then.
Yeah, probably. Alcatraz? I think it was Alcatraz.
Alcatraz, that's what I was thinking of.
I think I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, old Trumpy boy.
Yeah.
So there was only two other speakers. The last speaker, she kind of, I'll be honest, she didn't have as much to kind of go on. She was also the youngest in the speakers, so I think she was a little feeling a little nervous. But she kind of just came in because I think she was a part of one of the law society's groups. I can't remember if it was from Vic or not. But she kind of just came in and was talking about how, we need to create alternative justice systems that actually treat criminals like humans and actually address, the underlying causes. And then also kind of just a few other notes from that was more that prisons isolate people from their support systems and remove autonomy, which is dehumanizing. And obviously the
System D.
Yeah, system.
That's a Linux subsystem.
Oh, shush.
I didn't know you were a Linux person.
Yes. And since the 1980s, Māori have made up 50% of the total prison population. So that's a great number. But Reihana, she was a really awesome speaker to listen to. So she is a Muslim woman who has lived in Wellington her entire life. And she had some really, really just interesting perspectives and a lot of I just really loved everything that she kind of talked about, to be honest. So she was kind of going in that we need to be hard on the causes and the means of crime. And this was the analogy I was trying to find earlier. So she made a really great analogy about kind of why we need to change our prison system as a whole. And so she kind of talked about how if you look back at, video and audio of New Zealanders pre-1970s, most of them have a really British accent because New Zealanders for a long time, obviously, once we got colonized, they colonized our accent. We got real British. And then it wasn't until around the 1970s and 80s that you really see the Kiwi accent that we know kind of emerging. And she kind of attributes that to New Zealand kind of actually coming into their own identity.
Yeah, so because they used to poll this to like see what like accent people trusted the most, whether or not it was the cultivated accent is what was the very British sounding accent, a cultivated accent. And that originally, like back in the day, that back in the 70s, 80s, that would have been all the news presenters, all that kind of shit would have been people with cultivated accents, but then it tended more towards general accent, which is the most dominant one here today.
Well, yeah, because like I know I've watched videos of my uncle Ollie Olsen from obviously Play School back in the day, and even in that, like that's the 1970s, so it is a lot more Kiwi, but you can just hear these little bits in there that you can tell are kind of like the remnants, and even still to this day, like his accent has changed, like it's different yet again. It's a lot more Kiwi now, but you can still kind of almost hear that little kind of remnant of his British influenced accent. And it is buzzy because every time I hear it, it always makes you go, oh, is this a New Zealand thing or is this like some other country?
You should listen to like the southern accent back in the day. It was even more like weird sounding, I swear to God. Because you listen to old recordings of what's his name, Burt Monroe, the bike guy, world's fastest Indian. So some recordings of him because he was from Invercargill. So he talks like this, and I'm trying to think.
Really chews the words by the sounds.
Yeah, I think doesn't really chew the word, and he's got that rolling Southern R, you know.
Oh yeah, the gore R.
Yeah, but it's really like rawr, like that.
Rawr.
Very
Almost
pronounced.
Australian-esque as well.
Maybe.
But yeah, so she kind of used that analogy of like how now we kind of need to move into a system that's actually different and kind of fits who we are, which I thought was like a really interesting point. And she also talked about how the current system is basically just a blunt force tool. And I didn't know, but New Zealand has the highest imprisonment rate in the OECD.
Oh.
With 220 people in prison per 100,000.
Shit.
Yeah, which kind of, I feel like that data alone kind of says a lot about how our prison system's being used. Because we're not a big country. We're a tiny fucking country. Like, we need, don't they want people in their workforces and shit? Fucking, oh, mind you, to be fair, slave labor. Fuck. It's just, that one shocked me though. And then she also, I'll be
All
honest,
our prisoners are local, right? We don't like import prisoners or anything like that.
No, but I think we did just start getting sent back more New Zealand residents from Australia.
Okay.
I know there was like an
That's
issue there where
right, yeah.
they started sending people who had never really lived in our country back here because they were born here. But yeah, and so I can't remember all the specific data that she used in this part of the conversation, but she was talking about how it was based off of kind of how long it takes to kind of undo issues, but essentially the current penal system that we have, and I guess the damage that it's going to do cycles of violence, increasing crime, all of the things that these prisons do will take, like the current stuff will take a generation to undo. So like, and that's just the current stuff. That's not including what's getting added on each fucking day. Like, these things are going to take a lot to fix and actually have change. So we kind of can't afford to fuck around.
Oh yeah, look, like I'm for revising the prison system and all that shit, but I'm not the stereotype a lot of right wing pundits would paint, where I just want to let everyone go free, let all the prisoners out, let them go. You know.
No, if anything,
back into society.
If anything, I'm all for making the lower end more free and the higher end less fucking free.
Hell yeah.
If you hurt children, I don't give a fuck. Get fucked. Fuck you. Like, you have to be a horrible, evil, like, there has to be something seriously wrong.
Yep.
You have to have some mad mental health otherwise, because, yeah, the people who harm children are monsters.
That includes you, Cadbury's.
That includes you, Tim Jago.
Oh, no. Oh, did you see this, like, another
the police,
one?
The police commissioner.
No,
another one.
A national MP this time.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Pedophiles everywhere, man.
I know.
Set them on fire.
Yeah, they gotta stop. How do the pedophiles keep getting into power, guys? I just don't understand it.
Yeah, to be fair, I do. There was actually an update to the prison commission guy too.
I saw
though.
that too.
I saw that. But yeah, so she basically discussed how because she also went into a bit, because she talked about how after March 15th, the community was obviously, shook, but apparently they were quite, I guess, strong compared to what people thought they should be. And she was saying that a lot of them realized that the acts of a hateful person against a minority group, that was the issue, and that it didn't matter that they were the targets, because it could have been easily been anyone, kind of just basically, knowing that it was more about the hate that one person had rather than who they were or who their community was, because it could have easily been replaced by like queers, women, whatever minority they choose to hate. But with that, so you know how there's that attitudes survey, that the longitudinal study that's done here in New Zealand that basically tracks values and attitudes of New Zealanders for at least the last it's done it for 20 years so far, and it's still going. Yeah, thankfully. Oh yeah, I saw that on the live change too. I've got the live open just so I can... Oh wait, they can hear the background? Fucking hell, that was a
There
bit
we
of a
go.
mess.
Hold up.
Okay,
I'm
I'm
fixing my
back.
camera.
Ah.
It's coming. It's coming. Hold up.
Well, I'm glad that we're back on. So
I'm
at
glad I had
least
practice earlier on how to fix this.
right? Yes, since I'm sure people, if they didn't remember hearing us say, we did have issues and Roger's computer did crash before the live stream started. So, you know.
I blame Elon Musk.
Atlas. Close enough.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no, what's happened?
Oh.
We've gone
Are they
into
now?
rave mode.
No. It doesn't seem to like my camera anymore.
It really hates your camera.
It hates my camera. It hates this camera. What if I unplug it and replug it back in?
Also, I love this. Rogers, more like Dodgers. And yes, you can see 3 Magenta. You're fucking welcome.
Hey, there we go.
Oh, you fixed it?
I fixed it. Oh, you need my password to unlock my camera?
What the fuck kind of security settings have you
Nah,
got?
that's rubbish. That's rubbish.
That's wild.
I just can't fix the size or anything.
Oh my god, I've just looked at the stream. Holy shit.
Why am I tiny?
You're so tiny.
I know, I'm a small guy. I'm
That
sure there's a
is-
way to fix my aspect ratio, but this will have to do for now, guys. I'll just have to be 4:3.
Yeah,
don't know
plus
why
I don't
I'm
want you to
4:3.
fix it within the next 5 seconds because I need to screenshot this
Oh,
because it's
resolution. This is
hilarious.
probably the one.
Fuck you.
Nope,
No, yes, ha. Got it. Oh, no.
too late.
How dare you fix it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Hold up. Here we go. There we
Oh.
go.
Yeah.
Look at that. All right.
Smooth as fuck.
Nothing happened there. Where were we?
I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna replay the stream and get all of those funny images out of this. This is fucking
Okay.
insane.
It
Also,
says
apparently,
the
it's
camera
okay.
failed to load for you, so I gotta
You're just
reboot.
leaving space for Jesus. It's fine.
Okay, I think everything's good now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to
I
thank
can't see you,
Jesus
but that's
in my
fine.
Success speech. You should be able to see me again, right?
No.
No?
No. But don't worry
No.
about it. It's fine. I don't
What's
really
there to
need to
see?
see your face that badly.
No.
I've
That's
seen
true.
it enough.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll jump back into. I will
Yeah,
share my
what
screen
were
so
we
we can.
talking about?
We're finishing off.
Oh, everyone clap
my...
for me, by the way. I got
Oh.
it fixed. Everyone please clap.
Just golf claps.
Yes.
All right. So, within the Attitude server data, they found that so the way that they measure how much you like or dislike another.
My fault. Not just my fault anymore.
And no, you haven't missed the Hamilton stuff yet. We haven't gotten up to that one.
All right. Yeah,
Also,
we're
hello,
gonna have-
Fishy.
Yeah.
My moon friend.
All right.
My
I'm
moon
trying to
friend
text-
has joined
we're,
us.
We're back to the screen.
Transitioning again. Okay.
Ugh.
I haven't. Okay, there we go. But basically, so they measured the level of the least warmth felt by New Zealanders was towards the Muslim population. But when they looked through, obviously, other data, they found that it directly correlated, like the lack of warmth directly correlated with how Muslims were portrayed in the media. So the more negative that they were portrayed in the media, the less warmth we felt towards them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
that historically that would make a lot of sense because we have just go back through to the early 2000s, guys. You.
oh yeah. I mean the amount of peace in the Middle East. I feel like that's all I fucking heard when I was a kid, eh?
Mm-hmm.
But then she obviously then turned to follow the money. 632 billion is spent on armaments per year. And this amount of she says something about this is the amount of money it would take to feed and educate the whole world in 2 weeks. Was it would take something about that. But then also just kind of finishing with that peace is a doing word. And I thought that was a really kind of good point, because the thing is, a lot of people just think peace is something that we will arrive at, or that, you know, just one day it'll be peaceful, rather than the fact that we actually have to actively cultivate and maintain peace.
Remember the time Elon Musk said, "Hey, if you prove to me how this much money can solve world hunger, then I'll
yes,
pay it." And then they did, and he didn't do it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they try to sell a lie that it's going to be too expensive to do this, that, and the other. It's not. We can see that it's clearly not too difficult. It's just not something that's going to give them profits straight away. And that was basically
Also,
most of it from the crime.
Thank you all
audio.
for who's stuck with us. It looks like we've not really dropped viewership at all,
Yes,
even after that kerfuffle. We very much appreciate it.
Fucking A. I mean, yeah, sticking through us through the technical difficulties shows
I
us
will
you
be
love
replaced
us.
by next week.
I mean, to be fair, who are we going to replace you with? Because I can't replace you.
That's true.
No one could replace you.
Now I'm gonna see if I can get good lighting, like yours.
Oh yeah, I can't see your face, so it doesn't matter.
That doesn't even...
But yeah, so that was basically all from the crime corridor. When it came to the Greens on tour, I've mostly just got like some of the notes that I found kind of fun to kind of talk about. So, because I'm a Greens member, we basically got to get in early and have our own little time to ask them questions before the public was let in. And so we had the first question, which I thought was quite a fun one. And it's, who has been your most surprising ally on the opposite side of the house? And Julianne Genta said Bishop. And I'll be honest, I was too busy writing the question down and I missed her reason. So I can't devolve on that. But the other two. So Chloe was Luxon for uniting the left. And that obviously got a lot of cheers.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay,
so says,
okay.
more the meme version. And then Tamitha followed up by saying, and mine is David for mobilizing Māori, which I was just like, fuck yeah. There was a question around what can you do to push this government to give more money to local council? The kind of long and short of the direct answer was that there's not really many mechanisms in place for them to do much as an opposition government. However, they did go into a bit of corridor around what could kind of been done to just change that in general. So it turns out globally, 30% of GDP is given to local government to function, whereas in New Zealand, only 11% is given. So like that's like a marked difference. 19%. Like imagine what our local governments could do with an extra 19. Like that's double, like almost double what they're getting now.
Yeah.
Well, over double what they're getting now. So like that in of itself just like, oh, okay, so this is where the underinvestment in local government is very fucking obvious. But obviously with the alternative Greens budget, and with just their kind of thing in general, they said that a Green government would work alongside local government rather than being quite as hierarchical, I guess, as they are at the moment. And also, Tam kind of went into a bit of a conversation because there was a conversation around kind of how can things like fire safety and stuff like that, how can things be improved to help local governments kind of restore things in terms of, say, like, you know, one of the main ones that people talked about was Loafers Lodge, you know, that horrible fire that we had in accommodation that primarily housed people who were struggling. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. It was honestly such a... Well, unfortunately, I'm reminded of it almost every time I go to town because one of the people who passed away, he was, he used to juggle on Lambton Quay, by the Westpac. They put a plaque up for him. His name was Mike. And yeah, so every time I see that little plaque, I just think of him because yeah, he was, I don't know what conditions and issues he had, but he had a lot of health and thing conditions. So he was just a really lovely, smiley guy that would juggle and, busk through his juggling. And he was one of the victims of that fire. And so Tam kind of pointed out something that I hadn't even clocked at all.
Mm-hmm.
But, so we have things that mandate rules for fire safety at a local government level, but provide no resources to local government to enforce those mandated rules. And that seems to be quite a common thread, not just along in terms of mandated fire safety, but in a plethora of other areas where local government are supposed to do more with less.
Yeah. In fact, because it's usually I assumed it was on the fire department to do things like that, like check fire safety assessment. But I guess no, they'd be busy doing other shit, wouldn't they? They're not going around checking every house is up to fire safety code, are they? No.
Well, that's why I kind of get annoyed when the right rhetoric is, oh, we got to cut all this red tape. When I'm kind of sitting here going, we don't even make sure this red tape is accurately being implemented, and you want to make it worse?
And that's where this bullshit warped narrative is coming from, sort of. It's because it's the red tape, for lack of a better word, or all the restrictions and stuff that's put on local government that the right parties usually paint as being anti-small government. Whereas we're seeing that in practice. These guys are just the same side of different side of the same coin. I think I'm saying that right. I forget the expression. You know what I'm saying? Same side of a different coin, different side of the same coin. Whereas they're taking back a lot of the red tape and all those these quotas that need to be met, but then they're saying, hey, you can't spend on these things, and we're taking away funding and all these other things that actually give you the ability to be more autonomous and do things yourself. And now we're telling you pretty much verbatim what you have to spend your money on. For example, road cones. Fuck that. That's just for a quick tangent. Over here, here's my screen. Funding councils to be throttled for using too many road cones.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
Yeah, literally threats going out to councils. In regards
well, and
to
that's the thing is, it's that overreach that the right love to say that they're trying to stop lefty governments from doing. When where is not Winston? Where is fucking David Seymour and the ACT Party going? Saying this is imposing governmental fucking things on our personal liberties or whatever.
Yeah. Whereas Tamitha was literally saying, look, we'll give you more autonomy in some of these areas, but probably the places where it's going to be more restricted than it is in the current central government is things like safety and what's the word I'm looking for? I can't remember. Codes, safety code, building codes, stuff like that.
Yeah, guidelines and
guidelines. Yeah, work safe. That's another thing.
Well, yeah, exactly. Because that's what bothers me is that I've been in. Well, actually, it was even when I was doing consultation with Te Pūkenga, and I remember a lot of we had to go to this 2-day conference. And basically it was there to kind of come up with ideas and kind of also talk about how certain things should flow. And obviously I was there as a student representative trying to be okay, what would students need out of these things? And one of the main things at the end, they're what do you want to see from these plans that we're coming into? And my main thing that I ended up getting up and saying is that it's all good and well to sit here and say, okay, we're going to implement things. So they have to do that, again, guidelines, all of those things. My point to them was, it's great to say that we're going to have these things, but are they actually going to be implemented? Are people going to ensure that they're done correctly? Who's checking up on all of these things? How are you going to be able to ensure me that these things are actually implemented, not just written down on a piece of paper as a tick box? And that's kind of what a lot of these things end up being, is that they're supposed to be there to make it safer, but then people want to be lazy and or try to get away with shit, and they just try to work around it, when it's like, no, we really should actually be taking these things a bit more fucking seriously, because it doesn't take a lot to implement it correctly the first time. Rather than this kind of current thing where it almost feels like we're trying to just slowly tack on and fix little bits. It's another space where it just feels like you need to kind of burn it all down and start again.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say burn it all down.
Burn it down.
There was a question around how would the Greens change things for those with fertility needs, and apparently Benjamin is currently working on a bill to support fertility, so they weren't able to speak too much on it, but yeah, apparently there's something that's in the works. There was this question here of, could Labour agree to some progressive policies to show a united left? And to be honest, all they really said was that SOFS was basically, the Greens are working very closely with Te Pāti Māori to create a solid base, and then Chloe was like, basically Labour can follow, like, that's kind of, it seemed like she was more kind of insinuating that they're really strong between TPM and Greens, and like Labour's the slightly older dad that they're trying to get to catch up. But they're also working on a memorandum of understanding. So, not MOE, that was MOU.
Memorandum of understanding. I like.
Yeah,
that's a nice word.
So they couldn't actually speak really to anything about their specific relationship, I think, with the Labour caucus.
Yeah, sorry, I got distracted. I thought we were crashing again, but it was just my other computer this time. It was crashed because the YouTube stream was doing a circle. It was like, oh no, if we cut out, but it was just my laptop. It's just now frozen.
Right,
so
crashing all your fucking devices.
Everything's breaking. Everything's breaking.
All right.
That would be a great segue if we had some kind of donation thing going on. I would say, now give us money.
Right. We'll get there at some point. We'll get
One
there.
day.
We got to get it. Once we get it. I don't know. Just as a quick side thing before we go on the next question. We hit 100 subscribers.
Yay!
Oh, wait. We hit 103. I just see we hit 103 tonight. Yo. Yeah,
That's
we hit
another
over 100
milestone.
subscribers. So, yeah.
There's
Which we can talk
100
about that
and there's
more after I
103.
finish this. Yeah. I just want to get through these fucking questions before we crash.
Yeah, we're really running out of time. My goodness.
I mean, that's why we start at 6, so that
Yeah.
we've got a buffer between 8 and 9.
God, we're
Like,
ramblers.
in case anyone didn't know, that was actually purposefully done. That is why I chose 6 to 8. It's
Yep.
so that just in case if I want to do a 3-hour, I can.
Yeah, so you guys can waste all your time listening to us just ramble whilst you're cooking your dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, I love a podcast doing housework.
I do. Yeah.
So then there was a question around how do you get through to people? This is basically more a question of like, how can I get people on board with, a capital gains tax? And most of it came down to personalize, like try to find an angle that can be used to lead a person to the idea that a capital gains tax is a good idea. And also based off the conversation we had at the Tough on Crime thing, Tam was actually talking about how we approach the conversation is extremely vital, and that being someone who comes in with the facts and the figures isn't actually always the way to kind of get through to a certain person. Like those more defensive people who don't really like facts and figures, she was more talking about try to find what they're passionate about, what areas of politics or personal life do they really value, and then find a way to kind of show how capital gains tax could either make that better for them or, whatever kind of...
Yeah. Or like the strategy she did before, which is try and turn around the appeal that they have for whoever they're voting for now, turn it around as a positive for you. Like in the way she was saying, hey, we're pro small government too. Like we're just in a different way. We're pro small government, so we will give you autonomy. Another way, that's another strategy.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Just
like
letting you know.
I mean, yeah, like I'm definitely not the kind of person that can talk to the people that she's kind of talking about, because I am fiery facts and figures and go fuck yourself kind of as much as I try not to be. But like
bigots, I could sell it to them right now. You love oppressing a minority? Well, you're going to love oppressing the rich. Yeah. You're going to love it.
Oh my God. We need to make that. We need to start doing that. Oppress the rich. Actually, that would go hard on a t-shirt.
Hell yeah.
I'm getting ideas, guys.
Minorities are ruining the country. And
Oh
it's
my
the
God,
1%.
So right. Write this down. Avery, can you write these down for us so that I don't forget? Thank you. Please. Love you. In our Discord. So, why am I looking at the wrong screen? And also, this was more just a random side thing, but again, to that kind of issue with how local government is funded, the GST you pay on rates goes to central government, not local government. And that's pretty whack. I didn't know that. Yeah. I'm like, okay. Suspicious.
Is that inherent to all capital all GST, or is that just
Well, yeah, it is
to
technically
us?
a government something tax. Well, I can't remember what the S stands for, but I mean,
Goods and services, isn't it? GST?
Oh, is it? I thought it was
and
government
services?
something. Yeah, no, you're right. I think it is goods and services. Why do I think it was government something? So many fucking acronyms, actually. You know what?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm getting the CGT. Yeah, I think I am getting them stuck in my. I'm getting them in my head weird.
Tax.
Yeah,
and,
capital standard. Yeah,
everything. Yeah, there's a limited amount
close
of
enough.
ones you can think of, surely. Like
Yeah, but that goods and services one. No, you're right, it is. But that just fucked me up because I was like, okay, seems weird that doesn't go
like,
that
remember ISIS?
way.
And there was ISIS and Archer as well, and they changed it.
Yes, that was so funny. Well, I also found it funny because, like, I think when I was a kid, we learned about Egyptian gods, and then I learned about, the other ISIS.
Oh, and that ISIS, yeah, I knew there was another ISIS.
Yeah,
That's right.
fucking Egyptian, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But then one of the kind of main things that I found really interesting is that in the Greens budget, they have basically costed out and planned out how they could create 40,000 jobs with a sustainable income. So, and a lot of this is about, because Tamitha kind of pointed out, like, we used to be a country that made stuff. Like, I remember when I was young, made in New Zealand, there was such a big, like, pushing point. I remember it used to have like that little triangle with the kiwi in it, kiwi made and all that. And she was talking about, the fact that like we don't process our timber anymore. We just send our wood off to a different country for it to get all of the processing done, and then often we'll buy some of that processed wood back.
Yeah, and not to paint like the grandest picture like is the best thing ever, but like pre-Rogernomics, that was the case. It was pretty much mandated by law, pretty much everything, even TVs, because TVs had gotten to the point where they had they've been shipping them from Japan completely made, and the factory didn't actually just make the parts anymore. So they assembled them in the factory. So we had to actually say, hey, can you disassemble these? And then send them back to us so we can reassemble them over here, because it's like in law that we need to assemble the TVs from and parts separately within the country itself. And that's all based. Oh my god, I got tinnitus.
I hate that
ringing in my ear. Yeah, but
yeah. Well, yeah, because there's like apparently cross-laminated timber is one of the main things that they would be able to use in terms of actually, creating more jobs and, just bringing things back in house, like, is just, kind of goes to the point that Tam pointed out, is that our country has just been sold off in parts, slowly over, God, last, 50 years?
And those instances where what I mentioned with the disassembly of the TVs, maybe we don't do that again, but, start some kind of manufacturing of certain things.
Oh, absolutely.
It's definitely worth the
Well, the
endeavour.
timber's the easiest place to start. Like,
Yep.
we have a big industry for that. Like, well, we just recently had the paper mill in Aotearoa just shut down.
Yeah.
Which, like, those things, like, we shouldn't be having, like, this government wants to fucking prioritize jobs. But it's not being prioritized. It's how much profit can we prioritize.
Yeah. And those kinds of manufacturing jobs would be, at least in long term, would be a better investment as to. Let me see if I got it over here. This
New Zealand.
Distinguished students.
So
Who would
his
a more
average
standardized
across-
testing regime benefit?
this guy over here, Jamie Beaton, who is basically going around promoting that we try and reform the education system so it promotes people doing more startups and stuff over here. He wants to see more textile startups in this country.
Right, yeah.
Well, if you look at most startups, it's something like 90% of them wind up just failing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's really not something that we want going on. And sorry, my mic keeps, for some reason, just going down. So many tech issues today.
Yeah, that's fine.
We'll get around
But
it.
yes, so, like, the kind of, I guess, the ending off of it all, they were talking about how the fact is that, like, the Greens kind of initiative is kind of being taken in parts. So they've got the alternative budget. They also have an infrastructure plan, which I believe is partially where those jobs are listed in.
Yep.
And He Ara Anamata, which I believe is their environmental plans as well. All of those initiatives have been created with people throughout many different wānanga across the country. So they're actually advised by the people of whom they will be, helping. And just kind of, there's a couple of, these are technically quotes in here. So, first fact is that basically the current government's putting more money into prisons than hospitals and classrooms, but we knew that. But I liked this one from Tam. Do not let the bastards who are fleecing you tell you what you can do. And that was one thing that they were really pointing out, is that once upon a time, people said there was no way the Greens could have electorate MPs, just flat out. We now have 3 electorate MPs, and they're all women.
And
Just
one of
gonna point
them
that
is
out.
in the most densely packed region in the country.
Yeah. Like, so we've got, and we've also, one of them's a Māori woman. One of them is a mother, and I think she's got a husband. We've got so many, a good amount. And that was kind of like one of the things that they were really pushing, is that, like, we can't let people say that we can't, because they're only saying that because they don't want us to. Like, and I mean, the same system that oppresses us kills the planet, which is why we need to burn down the system. That was Chloe.
I don't know. I don't believe their plan unless it's got tech startups in there somewhere.
Ugh.
Silicon Valley tech startups.
Right?
That's what we need.
No rates increases.
Yeah, we need another Uber or some shit.
Right? But, like, the last thing they kind of ended on, and I think this is kind of something that I'm going to really try to keep in the front of my mind, is that, like, Chloe was saying that, we need to take the power back and use the power that we build through protests and through submissions, and use it to actually organize and solidify kaupapa and actually do stuff. Because the kind of thing that she was kind of pointing out is there's only so much that the Green Party can do. And there are parts that we as, people and communities need to actually be helping them, because something that we talked a little bit about after the police on crime, tough on crime, basically we went and we got to talk to them more in depth about it since we got rushed through so quickly. And one of the things that I kind of was talking to them about and asking them what they think we can do is, how do we change the attitudes of people? Because a lot of these things just require an attitude adjustment. Like, and I guess it'd be good to see us take the work and the kaupapa we're doing and actually help change those attitudes. And so that's why I'm probably just going to be a lot more, like, I'm going to be harassing people to not only join the Greens or Te Pāti Māori, but also to volunteer for them in any and every capacity that you're possibly able to, because like my thing is that like we have to give what we can as regularly as we can, and that's kind of where all of that stuff caps off.
I need to check I'm on their mailing list, because that's the only reliable way for me to keep up with that kind of information. Like, it's not on any of that like other stuff.
Oh no,
like
absolutely.
Instagram and all that shit. So I really
Instagram is unfortunately a really good source for especially for like those more last minute ones, because like the amount I see on stories are quite intense.
Well, I don't support Mark Zuckerberg, unfortunately, so I try not to.
Nah, that's fair.
Instagram
honestly.
is unfortunately a meta.
Oh yeah, no, I know. I wouldn't use it if it wasn't just where everyone is.
Yep, no, that's most
Unfortunately,
social
I have
media.
to.
That's most social media. People only
for
use
me,
it because that's where people is.
No, for me though, I only use it because I'm trying to convince people to come to the left side. So like, I'm using it more to like, I'm only here so I know how to make other people aware of what I want them to be aware of. I'm using the system for my own benefit.
All right. I think I saw you opening up some other stuff. Do we want to move on?
Yeah. We might as well just run through. These are mostly just quick. Although actually, I should have added in that update about old, fucking pedophile guy. I forgot his name.
Fuck him.
No. There was only one tiny bit. Oh, there he is. Oh, fucking Jevon. That's right. Skimming. Yeah. Yeah, because I saw. Well, basically, the update was mostly that now they're allowed to just talk super freely about what he did.
Yep.
And it turns out the only reason allegedly, it seems like the only reason he actually quit his job is because the New Zealand Herald was the one that put the two and two together and actually figured out what was going on. And so when they tried to contact him through his lawyer about, whether the child exploitation and bestiality material was his, that's when he did it. And you know how they said there was an ongoing investigation beforehand, like that precluded it? Do you remember that part of it? So basically, they were investigating him for one thing.
That's right.
When they
two
found
different
out the second
That's
thing.
right.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember
and so the first thing we can now be told was actually for pornography. So the original offense was pornography on his work fucking device.
Just general pornography, not
general pornography.
Not illegal pornography.
No, it just said pornography. So I'm assuming it was while investigating the pornography that they then found the other material. And so, yeah, I thought it was interesting that RNZ were the reason that he basically had to go and quit his job, because he knew that they were about to basically, that everything was going to come. But yeah, that was the main update.
That was your camera. Okay. Get a heart attack every time. Your camera just froze for a second.
Oh yeah, it does that. To be fair, I'll be getting
heart attack every time it happens.
Oh, it'll be alright. It's okay. To be fair, my camera does do that sometimes.
Okay.
It's also really old, but I'll be getting a new one soon. So,
all right, yeah. So
yes.
RNZ hit job. Let's go.
Wow, I didn't find that one.
Work
that was
left
really all I had
media.
to say.
Okay, all right, cool.
We'll go into Hams first, because there's mostly just one line that just absolutely made me go, "What the fuck?" So so apparently 2 former Labour MPs are vying for seats on Hamilton City Council, which I was like, okay, pop off Hamilton. So 2 former Labour MPs will vie for a seat on Hamilton City Council at the local body elections in October. Sue Morinay and Jamie Strange will run against a field of 26 candidates.
Okay.
Including former National MP Tim McKindo and the Eastwood, and yeah, so they've, and then down here, in total, there were 51 candidates vying for a place on the council, including 12 for mayor.
Okay. I'm not sure. Do you know, or can anyone in the comments explain what's so hot about Hamilton that this shit's going down? Like, why is it a battle royale? Does anyone know?
Like, I mean, the only thing that, like, my brain was trying to, like, think of any small tangible thing that might, like, have created something like this. And I was like, maybe since they've got the uni there, like, maybe it's making people a bit more, like, active, and but then it's also old people, so I don't know what's in the water in Hamilton, but fucking too many cookers. Oh no, guys, that's not the answer I wanted. Give me a better one. Oh no, give me a better answer, guys. I don't want it. You know what? It fucking
Cookers.
would be.
It's the
Yeah.
cookers. Okay.
Of course. Like, I wanted to give Hamilton a chance, okay? I wanted to hope.
Hamilton's gonna become like our Texas or some shit.
Oh, well, to be fair, Hamilton's not that far from Tauranga, so maybe they want to, like, hook up with the homies, you know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
I'm sure. Oh. I like this. Hamilton is just a big cow town.
Oh, we got Gary. Hell yeah.
Oh, kia ora, Gary. Oh, apparently Sue Morinay is good value though, so fucking.
Okay.
I guess we might have to keep an eye on. Although actually, that has made me remember something.
Well, I mean, we've taken anything from this. Keep an eye on Hamilton. This coming up.
Right.
Mayoral election.
Just in general, just keep an eye on Hamilton. In
just
general.
keep an eye on Hamilton.
Vote for. I'm just trying to find. There has been a new. You wouldn't know about this because you're not on the social medias, but as much as I don't like it, we do have to use the tools available to us. So, I feel like this is a really good time to just quickly mention that there is this page now on Facebook called Vote for Te Tiriti. And they are awesome because what they're doing is they're going and they are profiling candidates from around the country who are like, basically you would vote for Te Tiriti, they're Te Tiriti focused and have those kind of values. And so, yeah, see, we got like Tom from Greater Wellington, and they've just got a bunch of profiles on all these different people, which is a really good place for people to be able to kind of go to and at least see out of the people in their area, which ones are probably the better ones to at least pay attention to, let alone vote for. So yeah, it's definitely they'll be updating this regularly. Yeah, our girl.
She's
but yeah,
looking great.
Oh,
look at that.
When doesn't she, right? And I mean, look. Have you also noticed how right?
I'm digging
how
it.
Fucking hot and stylish are all the Tiriti? Like, look
oh
at this,
my
bro.
goodness! Just everyone.
Just sure. and I love it. It's got a lot
Black
of
and
aunties as well. Yes.
Stylistic.
Oh, even he's a bit handsome too.
That's a whole weight of Ponamu around his neck
right. But yeah, we've got a lot of good candidates that we can at least look to. And maybe people in Hamilton, since I see we probably have a few of you, I think that's a good time to maybe start showing this to people
So many beautiful people.
Yes. And so, yeah, definitely a good page to keep an eye out on, especially if you are a Facebooker. There's also a group that I'm sure a lot of you are already aware of, but it's started by Tanya Waikato. I'm just trying to remember the name of it. I know I'm a part of it. Bloody Rygen added me to it. There we go. Election 2026 Aotearoa. I'm on our Facebook, so we can't see it. But yeah, that's a group full of awesome lefties. Bunch of posts go up all the time. So just good little spots to go in case you're not sure where to point people. But we'll go on to the next quick one. So I thought you might find this one interesting since we like our birds.
We do like our birds.
We do. So Forest and Bird slams reform as conservation retreat, but Minister defends economic push. So for those who weren't aware, over the weekend in Christchurch, Luxon went and spoke to a bunch of his fanboys and girls. No non-binary people. But yeah, so the government's intended changes. Oh, what is it doing? Oh, okay, no, it's going to tell you that. I'm not reading that part. Aims to unleash growth by increasing the number of concessions or permissions granted to businesses wishing to operate on conservation land, which I don't trust. We also know for a fact that what was one of those? I feel like we made one map last year talking about how they were trying to open up things that were going to cross over dockland. So, unfortunately, not surprising.
I just remember them, just revising it so they could kill Kiwis and revoking Predator 2050 and all that shit.
So annoying they did the Predator 20 fucking... Because Wellington still has our own predator-free one, so we're just trying out here while the rest of the country's not. But obviously, Doc are mostly concerned that it's just going to be taken advantage of and exploited. And I mean, you know what? I'm kind of with them on that one. Yeah. Because it definitely just seems like just a slippery slope to just go, cool, well, we need to make money off of this area. Go fuck your wildlife.
That's the important thing to remember. In the face of all this, it's all just for money. No matter how you paint it, whether it's making the economy bigger, that's still at the end of the day that just for more money. It's all just for more money. It's all people want. More money on things that take sometimes decades, if not longer, to fix when you fuck them up. Sometimes they're irreparable. Some species you just
absolutely.
Kill. All this bullshit about trying to resurrect the moa. That's not real. It's not actually going to resurrect a moa. It's not going to happen. We'll never have the moa again. Moa's gone. No. We can get something that looks like a moa.
Yeah, but it wouldn't even be.
Moa.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be a moa. So
yeah, it would not. It would not have an environment to live in that it would understand anyway. And yeah, so that's the kind of quick one on that one. Which one do I want to go through first? Yeah, we'll go through these two first. Yep. Quick buck and a quick fuck. I thought you might just find this interesting, but I found this one from last week.
Oh, wait, yeah, where was this?
So it says it. So an Auckland woman who gave tents and sleeping bags to a group of rough sleepers says she stopped council workers from removing the items a few days later. Oh yeah, it was at Grafton United Cricket Club.
Okay, I don't know where that is, but that's very close to where I am.
It's right by the hospital.
Yeah, and because I noticed in the last week or so, or a couple of weeks, there's been some tents and stuff. There's been one just down the local cemetery. It's been moving around. Clearly they've been getting shoved away and moved along. So they're now a nomadic tent. You pop up and move off again, and so.
I guess that's probably what they're trying to do to combat this from happening.
I don't know. It's a bit of a mixed bag there in terms of where your sympathies lie, but I'm leaning towards let them just stay there. It's a cemetery. It's uninhabited. They're not and these aren't recent. It's not an active cemetery. These are ancient. No. These are from old settlers from centuries, decades. But we're talking generations.
There will be barely anyone who knows they have family in there.
Most of the tombs are destroyed. All the graves are destroyed. They're dilapidated. No one really cares about it. And I'm not saying go desecrate the dead or disrespect them or anything, but just leave them be. Rather than going through and making these people's lives even worse.
Right. If anything, I'm sure the graves would like that they get visited every now and then by people. At least people are turning up.
There's some life around here.
Ayo. To be fair, I love cemeteries. I've always been a fan of cemeteries. They're just a nice place to spend time, but maybe that's because I don't like people.
That's fair. I get it.
But yeah, and I mean, I'm not surprised because like the Grafton, because I believe that's the building that's like right by that big park that everyone goes for their runs in next to the hospital.
Yeah, right by the museum.
Yeah, and so like it does like I can understand if there is the aspect a lot of the time where places that are occupied for too long can end up just smelling like urine. That is definitely an issue. But at the same time, like, leave them alone. Leave their fucking, like, they don't have much. Leave their shit the fuck alone.
I definitely haven't noticed the urine issue. I'm not saying it wouldn't happen, but...
I'm just saying as a Wellingtonian.
No, I was just going to compare it to, beside me, even closer, there's a Wilson's car park, and if you go in there, you go up the fucking stairwell, it reeks of piss. And this is like... This is a privately owned thing that should be maintained, but it just constantly smells of piss. So...
Well, apparently Gary slept rough in the grandstand at the cricket club for a couple of nights. Yeah, it is the one that I thought it was. Fuck, the bros even stayed there.
Nice.
Wow, sucks that he had to sleep rough, but
yeah,
also I understand too, because I too have been homeless. It's fine. We have houses now.
I have not.
Yeah.
No,
oh well, hey.
Not. I'm sure
I would
remembered
rather you not. Yeah, I'd rather you not have to.
Well, I was going on a technicality. I was like, maybe there was that few weeks where I was between places. Maybe.
Well, I mean, that is a technical type of homelessness.
Yeah, but I was like, I'm not going to...
Yeah, a little different, though.
It's a little bit different.
Yeah, not like a permanent one.
No.
But hey. Yeah, and so that one, I was just like... So disappointed. Yeah, apparently, the workers just came through and were about to throw away. Like, and that's the other thing, too. Like, they're just going to throw away brand new items that don't need to go into landfill.
Yep.
Like, cool. Way to fuck the planet over even more as well.
This hits close to home, especially because, like, I won't pretend, like, these people, they're part of the community. And people know that. Like, a lot of these people I know by name. Like, I'm not necessarily like on intimate grounds with them, but I chat with them sometimes. They're just people, and they have.
Wait,
opinions.
You treat the homeless like humans?
Yeah, I mean sometimes. Well, sometimes I, because a lot of mental health problems and stuff too. So sometimes they'll be in a fit or something. And I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna go. Right now.
So there are times where they just need to be. They've got their own thing going on, and like just leave them be. They're good.
Exactly, but they're just people like you and me, and if I'm going home with like a pizza or something, I'll be like, hey, I'm not gonna finish this whole thing myself. You want a couple of slices? Just do the whole pay it forward thing. Try and do two nice things every day.
No, absolutely. I mean, you're a better person than me. I would eat the whole pizza. So.
Well, I would too, but that's a good way for me to get rid of some of the whole pizza, and then I'm not gonna wind up eating the whole pizza.
Yeah, you can't be tempted. You know what?
Exactly.
That's a good idea.
Because otherwise I will.
No, that's fair. That is so fair. But yeah, that was just like one small one that I thought we could at least just... Obviously, since you're a local, I thought you might be interested.
Yeah, no. Well, thank you for showing me, because it explains where those tents came from now.
Yes. Like, now you know. Now you know why there's random, homeless tents
Shiny new tents. I was like, are these newbies showing up now? Is it getting that bad?
Nah, it actually... Wow, it just seems like at least, thankfully, someone was a kind human and offered them what they could. Yeah. This one I saw, and oh man, I just mostly thought it was interesting because I didn't realize that. So they were talking about, obviously during this time of the year, it's a lot more dangerous on the roads, and New Zealanders like to drive fast.
Mm-hmm.
Again, undiagnosed ADHD. And so they said here, is 3 minutes really worth your safety? Because driving at 105 kilometers instead of 100 for 1 hour only saves you 3 minutes and 4 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw that number, my brain just got so angry because I know how bad our country is for fucking speeding.
Yep.
And it just bothers me. It's like and that's even if you're driving for an hour.
And that's assuming it's consistent too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're speeding up, you're slowing down, all that shit.
And so it's just, I was just like, man, this is a number, and this is, like, I mean, I've never been a fan of our driving habits.
Yeah, it's that we have windy roads too. We don't get a lot of like that much setting snow, especially towards the coast. So a lot of it's just sort of ice and frost, and you're gonna, it's not that obvious to people that there's not gonna be that much traction.
Black ice is so dangerous as well. I've hit a patch of black ice before. Fuck me. Whew. Nearly shit my pants when I did it. Also, Shaz has apparently turned up late. It's alright. We had a bunch of tech issues and things. So, yeah, we're still going because shit got really fucked.
You showed off the best part.
Right? What are you trying to say?
I don't know. We're getting close.
Yeah, nah, we're getting close. And then the last one that I thought we could look at. This one's actually kind of weirdly positive.
Okay.
And I didn't know that when I started reading it. So it's like got a bit of positivity to it, but also still not great to it. So yeah, North Shore Hospital has an entire ward of people with no medical reason to be there. Which I just thought was like, huh?
What does that mean?
Exactly, that's why I clicked on it. The 20-bed ward was created in May for patients who were effectively medically discharged but did not have anywhere to go for lower level care such as an aged care facility.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's totally not what I thought it was going to be. So yeah, RNZ understands that they were not under the direct care of doctors, but were looked after by nurses and allied health staff, such as physiotherapists and social workers. And I'll be honest, this sounds like a really good model that we could start doing.
I mean, I was just thinking that. I was like, maybe this is kind of a good idea.
This is why it's weirdly positive. Yeah, some were there for weeks. Health New Zealand's Waitemata Operations Director Brad Healy said, I had started the dedicated ward to help boost capacity in the busy winter period. It had helped improve the flow of patients because people were spending less time in emergency departments and were getting the care they needed sooner. Deborah Powell... So it was not unusual for patients to be in the ward for 2 or 3 weeks, but sometimes it was longer. It was not ideal, but it was a good practical decision to have them in one place rather than dotted around the hospital. Really fucking obvious. It would be better to have them in the community, but we just don't have the capacity out there at the moment. So obviously they don't have the care of aged facility carers, especially because a lot of those older people, they do have to like visit them in home. Because I know for a fact that my grandma, they had a bunch of stuff happening where like she had broken her hip, and when they discharged her, they didn't actually organize sending someone over to like do her like housework for at least like 5 weeks after she broke her hip. And so for that first 5 weeks, because my grandmother also has like, well, she's autistic, but she's also got like OCD tendencies.
Yeah.
So she's very like, she cannot tolerate her space not being in the clean way that she likes.
So it's not what I was thinking, which is going to be all messy and shit. It's more.
No, it's the opposite. My nana's terrible. She cannot look after herself, even if it means like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's how bad her OCD can be with that kind of stuff. Like, she was like, no, and like even then, once they finally started sending some cleaners, some of them weren't doing a very good job. So my grandma was fucking following behind them. Yeah, but like that's
that sounds
kind of
like
the
my
thing.
mom.
It's
I'm
kind
so
of
sorry, you did a great job cleaning, but you just missed a couple of spots.
Yeah.
Please don't be offended.
It's like, nah, just be honest. You like doing it yourself. But yeah, so like that's the kind of care that they're probably referencing in terms of that type of thing. But like, yeah, so one of the biggest contributors of cancellations of elective surgeries in hospitals is that there aren't enough staff beds to put the patients in after the surgery. It has a domino effect back through the hospital in terms of other people's ability to access care. And obviously they're talking about how the government needs to do more to fund public aged residential care and also support services. Because like, I know they had to send some people around to my nana's house as well to like do a bunch of assessments so they could like get a ramp up her door and like get these weird like toilet seat like basically lifter bits so that you don't have to like bend down too far on the hip joint. like get on and off and on the toilet. Like that's the kind of like the amount of things that like they have to try and assess, because like they come through your house and they actually like go, okay, what areas can we identify will need, you know, adjustments, like the shower needs a seat in it, the toilet needs a extender thingy on it, the ramp, blah blah blah. Like it is a lot of, you know, a lot of effort and requires quite a bit of time. So I'm not surprised they haven't left the money there, but that like those the kind of, you know, especially if you're older, the way your body heals is very different and often is a lot more complicated because your body doesn't heal as good anymore. But yeah, so I just thought this was an interesting, like, it's interesting to kind of see that the hospital has taken that kind of initiative and gone, how can we make this, you know, a bit easier on us? And it almost seems like they've kind of piloted a really great idea that could probably not only be implemented, you know, in times like this where they're just trying to kind of band-aid the issue right now, but actually be done in a way that could kind of make hospitals just flow better.
Yeah. Might be burning out.
No, that's so fair. I was just reading a couple of our comments. Point. Yeah. Plus, to be fair, you're extra burnt out because you've been having to fucking deal with tech stuff. So I absolutely get that. Oh, I should find our outro
I worked
song.
A full shift,
right?
At 6 a.m. So
he's a working girl.
Long. Yeah, I'm a working girl. Like I say, I'm like a shark. I can't stop, otherwise I die.
Yeah, that is very true. I love how you're giving your mum shit for that. Yeah, here you are.
Oh, no, who do you think I got it from?
Yeah,
my dad's the same, but not like, you know, like I clean like my mum. Like I clean non-stop. I can't have, like, my mind gets as messy as the environment I live in. So if I'm living in squalor, like I'll be, you know, depressed and fucking eat bad food and shit like that. So if I keep the place clean and tidy and all zen, you know, I'll feel better.
Oh yeah.
Kind of shit. But
messy house, messy mind.
My dad's the actual, like, the workaholic. Like, he never stops. He's always taking phone calls, that kind of thing. Like, you know.
Yes. I
like
see.
That too. Like, you know, sometimes I'll just stop in and just start, like, looking at shit at work. And it's like 8 p.m. at night. I'm like, why am I doing this? I shouldn't be working.
Honestly, that's so fair.
I got an email at like 11, 12 at night, or something like that once, and I was just like, yeah, I'll take care of this. I'll help the person in Africa.
No. Yeah, the amount of time you just randomly tell me you're doing work, and I'm like, you're not getting paid right now. What the fuck are you up to?
No, but I can claim overtime, so I can't do that.
I mean, at least there's that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that'll be us for tonight then. So I am queuing up our outro.
Well, just one thing, just while we're still on there, I thought I'd bring this up because I missed this last week, which was a suggestion: health workers want politicians to waive private healthcare while in office, which I thought was actually a very good idea. But for multiple reasons. However, maybe you could put a slight adjustment on this. Maybe if they, you know, do some kind of questionnaire where it says, do you support public health system or do you not? And if they say no, then you can say, okay, you can keep your private shit because you don't support the public health system. But then you can wave that piece of paper in front of everyone. Like, hey, this person does not give a shit about private healthcare, public healthcare, sorry. You know?
Yeah.
I just realized, wait, why the fuck? I can't, it's because I haven't transitioned. There you go. Huh. That's why. I'm like, why can no one see the thing? They're seeing your screen.
Right, yeah, I couldn't see what you're talking about either.
Yeah, there it is.
Hold on, I gotta catch up on the stream so I know.
Yep. It's a comedy of errors. Guys.
I love how you're really pushing for us to have that name. I love it. It's a good idea.
Yep.
Well,
maybe there'll be our sideshow. Yeah, and I had a bunch of other stuff I wanted to go through, but that can be for another time. That can be for next week.
Yeah,
it's hot news anyway. We're supposed to do last week's news. I mean, technically, as it came out Sunday, but we'll do it next week.
Yeah, I'm so down to cover more of that. And I mean, hopefully next time at least we shouldn't, knock on wood, have as many tech issues, so your brain will be free of resources for the show.
I need to download more RAM.
Right?
Yep.
I mean, accurate. All right, have we got my screen up? Do we? I don't know.
Share your screen now.
Well, thank you for joining us tonight. I appreciate everyone staying through the tech issues.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely, so thankful.
Our viewership's only gone up.
Oh, look at that. And I mean, to be fair, also, if, you know, we have talked with each other, if 6 p.m. turns out it's a bit too early, we can move it to 7. You know, we are going to be flexible with these types of things, so we'll kind of just see how it goes, test how everyone feels.
Don't give me a chance to have a nap.
Okay, so maybe we'll be starting at 7 next week, guys.
Maybe.
I mean, to be fair, people do seem to come in a bit more at the 7. So, you know what? How about we just make the decision right now that next week we'll do it at 7?
Yeah, well, we're going to test
then
a
that
bunch
way,
of different times and stuff. You know, we need to do this just to see what, you know, gets the best statistics.
Yeah, it also means that we'd get really pressured to finish within 2 hours, so that since we'll be the pre-show. But yeah, I appreciate all of you for coming. I'm sure we'll see most of you in the chat on BHN soon anyway. So other than that, I think that's all we've got from that. Do you got anything else you want to finish on?
Oh, look, I'll try me in the chat, but, you know, I get up, I don't get up, I start work at 6, so, you know.
Yeah, I've noticed you've not been there, but...
Yeah, well, because...
You gotta make that bag.
A lot of transitions going on at work right now, so, you know, things will maybe normalize once... You know how I said that new client had started? That they pushed it back,
Yes.
They lied.
Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me?
But don't worry, this Wednesday it's happening. For sure.
Like, honestly, I'm gonna message you on Wednesday, and it better fucking happen.
Yeah, we'll find out. Anyway.
Also, I like Jeff Burns' idea of his new policy is to get here late to avoid tech issues, and you know what? They're cool.
Genius.
They're fucking cool. Okay, Fano, I better put this on so that our boy can go to fucking bed, to be honest, or at least start going on the way to bed.
I haven't had dinner, but
Alright.
after that.
Okay, yeah. So he can finish off his day. We will leave you, as always, with some Baby No Money, and today it's mathematics, which I guess is kind of topical given the news about NCEA that was released today. Oh, you didn't hear about that?
No. I was actually ready to talk about it, but we'll have to push that
Oh,
back.
I mean, we could have talked about it, but you got tired. We'll talk about it next week.
We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll have stuff to add. Okay, thank you for hanging out with us, guys, and I'll see you later.
All right.
Oh, wait, no. Site's muted. Lol. There we go.
Suit, French letter, and my girl bad. Gatekeeper says open, I ain't calling back. 15-minute TED talk, collecting 40 rags. 1 million paid in tax, bitch, do the math.
Do the math, bitch, do the math. 1 million paid in tax, bitch, do the math. Do the math, bitch, do the math. 1 million paid in tax, bitch, do the math.
Did the math, I'm baby Johnny Cash. My girl gon' throw it back, that my life is cinemax. Holy hell, this max, I make hits and you make trash. I'm on vacay, do not ask, poolside eating Apple Jacks. Shut up, bitch, shut up. Big deal like TJ Maxx, pop some cataracts. Watch a naughty tag, Nick Cage how I act. Heavily dislike tax, got some aces on my feet, never wear a mask. I'm in the cut like a womb, wake your ass up, make some room. And my girl, coming soon, I don't fuck with honeymoons. Throw some money on my tune, finesse too hard, I'm feeling Girls love me, they want a spoon, let me finish, I'll resume. Flame suit, French letter, and my girl bad. Gatekeeper says open, I ain't calling back. 15-minute TED talk, collecting 40 rags. 1 million paid in tax, bitch, do the math.
Do the math, bitch, do the math. 1 million paid in tax, bitch, do the math.
Do the math, bitch, do the math. 1 million paid in tax, bitch, do the math. I just curved cameo, she said I'm a Romeo. She gon' split me up and lit me up like Oreo. First global book deal, sell that shit to Indigo. Getting money since I was an itty bitty embryo. Save my money when I die for the fam. Always make a sale, cab to Moran. Shawty tryna play some games where I don't play Catan. I'm a plug, she an outlet, cut up Mr. Middleman. Yeah, I got ass that she wants to come see. Yeah, only speak the truth, hyperbole. Facts. Goddamn, I sound good on this beach. Extra extraterrestrial ET flame suit, French letter, and my girl bad. Gatekeeper says open, I ain't come back. 15-minute TED talk collecting 40 rags. 1 million paid in tax, bitch, do the math.
This is making me kind of horny.